Hello students and other viewers, this is a Teta from Morogoro, Tanzania. My name is Mnewa William Kihimbo, your English teacher. Today again we are going to discuss the topic writing using appropriate language and content, and the subtopic that we are going to deal with is writing of a curriculum vitae. But also, if time allows, we are going to have a look to how to write a memo and how to write notices to the newspapers. Now, maybe you can ask yourself, what's a curriculum vitae? What is a curriculum vitae? Have you ever heard the term curriculum vitae? Good. A curriculum vitae, or CV, as how it is abbreviated, is a document that lists your job experience and education. It is usually sent to the potential employees when you are applying for a job, and is used to select the applicants who can be called for an interview. So as students, we need to know how to write the curriculum vitae, because when we write down application letters, there are some organizations which need the application letter, and actually it's a must, it's obligatory that a letter should be accompanied with the curriculum vitae or the CV. And the rest of those who have to be called for an interview depends much on whether you attached your CV. If you didn't attach your CV, there are some organizations where they cannot even call you for, they cannot consider you for an interview. So this is a very, very important skill that we have to learn as students. Now, we have different types of CVs, but basically we have two types of CVs. The first type of CV is known as the American style CV, and the second one is known as the British style CV. And therefore we're going to learn both the American as well as the British style CV. Let us start with the American style CV. A CV in American style has a certain structure different from the British style. And this is the structure of the American style CV. So a curriculum vitae in American style has the following structure. We have the address, like how you can see on the screen, region. It's written at the top, region. Alex Kifula, P.O. Box 3456 Tukuyu. This is the contact, and we have the telephone number indicated as well as the email. That should be found at the top. And then we have the objective, the second party of the American curriculum vitae style. We have the objective, like here, to obtain a teaching vacancy with a reputable school. Then, the third important part of the curriculum vitae in American style is education background. We call it education or qualifications. And here you have to arrange the years starting from the highest level of education going to the lowest level of education. You can see Mr. Alex Kifura started University of Mzumbe. It was 2003 to 2007 when he completed his university studies. And what did he pursue? He pursued Bachelor of Arts in Public Administration. In 2002, he was at Rutengano Secondary School for advanced level certificate. So we started from the highest, the university level, then advanced level. And 1996 to 1999, Rungwe Secondary School. That is for O-level certificate. Work experience. Another party is work experience. When you talk about work experience, if you apply a certain vacancy somewhere, maybe you worked or you are still working in a certain organization, you need to state. That has added advantage. You can have more consideration. They can make a special consideration for you to be taken for the interview and to be employed. So you have to state. For example, Mr. Kifura had this experience. From 2007 to date, is a district administrative officer, Ngorongoro, okay? So that is the added advantage. We have the skills. Do you have any skills that you learned previously? For example, Mr. Alex Gifure here had the skills of computer, that is computer literate, and is knowledgeable in Microsoft Word as well as in Microsoft Excel. So you have to include also your skills. Personal interests. What are you interested with? What are your hobbies or your interests? For example, Mr. Alex Gifure here is interested in football and gardening as well as jogging. And the other party, the other section of curriculum vitae is the American style. You have the references or referees. References or referees, as how you can see here. The first referee is Dr. Deusi Shelembi, University of Dodoma, P.O. Box 1, Dodoma. And we have the telephone number indicated there and the email address indicated. You know, most of the CVs require at least 2 referees. Here we have 2 referees. The first referee written on the left, and number 2, the second referee is Miss Joyce Banda, a personal secretary, Wateuri Company Limited, P.O. Box 6, Tanga. And we have also the telephone number indicated there. Now, maybe just a question, my dear students, when you list down the referees, one should be on the left, the other one on the right, just the way it is written here. It means if you have the first referee written here, number 1, number 2, number 3 will be there, number 4, 5, 6. It goes like in alternating style. You have 1 followed by 2. Don't write this one down, 1, 2. It should go in this way. Left to right, left to right. 1, 2, 3, 4. That clear, my dear students and other viewers? Good. I think you have grasped something here. Let us now proceed. The second type of a CV is the British style CV. British style CV. It starts with the personal particulars. The contact, personal particulars. As you can see, we have name, Mark James Lugula, address, P.O. Box 773 Iringa. We have the telephone number, we have the email, and then you have the nationality. Nationality, Tanzanian, for example, date of birth. That the date of birth is indicated, 11th of November 1990. And you can have some other details like marital status, married or not married, you see, and even religion, whether Christian or Muslim. But these are the most important components that you can include. These are very, very important. Your name should be there, the address, the telephone number, the email, nationality and date of birth are very, very important. And B, education background. Just the same as how we have seen with the American style. Education background. This is the heart of your CV. It's the heart of your CV. You cannot have a CV without education background. Education background should be included. So from 2003 to 2006, this gentleman attended at Aris University, where? Dar es Salaam. And what did he pursue? He pursued Bachelor of Science in Land Management. And in 2004 to 2005, he attended Feather High School for Advanced Level Certificate. And in 2000 to 2003, he attended Kirwa Secondary School for O-Level Certificate. You can see the trend, the arrangement of, institutions, the year, when he started the university, from that year to that year, from that year to that year. And therefore, we start from the highest, university level, advanced level, O-Level. Maybe someone can ask, why not a primary school level included? If you wish, you can include the primary school, but actually, we expect that the 3 levels, university level, advanced level, and secondary level, they can be sufficient, they can be enough. But you can add, you are not prohibited, you can add the primary school level. But I don't think if it can bring sense if you can include the nursery level. You have to include maybe up to primary school level. Okay, good. So let us proceed. Another party, another section of the curriculum vitae, especially the British style, you need to have the party which indicates employment, previous employment. For example, Mr. Wula, in 2006 to present, he works with Arts Institute Morogoro. You see? The skills, computer literate, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, and PowerPoint. Interests, football, music, photography, and then we have this part of the referees. With the British style, they can write references available on request. It's unlike in the American style where the referees have to be mentioned. With the British style, down there you can write references available on request. What does it mean? That if they need details about referees, then you are ready to handle the information to them. References or referees available on request. So that is how you can write down the two types of CVs. We have said we have two basic types of CVs, the American style CV and the British style CV. They have only a minor difference in their format. With the American style, we start with the resume, but with the British one, we don't have the word resume at the top. But also the structure is how you have seen. The structure of the American style is a little bit different from the British style. This one here, as you can see, British style, we started with A, personal particulars. We had that personal particulars. Then B, we had education. It was about education background, which actually even in the other type of CV, we had also education background. And the other section is about employment, previous employment, the skills, interest. The only difference here with the British style, the referees or references can be written in this way. References available on request. Unlike in the American style, whereby the referees will have to be mentioned. The referees are mentioned. You see, references or referees mentioned as how you can see on the screen. So that is all concerning how to write down the curriculum vitae. One of the most important documents when you write down your application letter. You cannot write an application letter without including your CV. This is very, very important constituent of the employment letter. Now let us have another discussion on how to write a memorandum. This is also very important for us as academicians. We need to know how we can write the memorandum. The memorandum sometimes can be abbreviated as memo. I think when I talk of memo, everyone knows what is a memo. But the long form of it is memorandum. A memorandum or memo is a note that we write to people who we read or to people who we work with in the same organization or in a different organization. The memo, it's a note, just a note. It can be a short note that can be passed to the people we work with in the organization, or you want to inform, you're a reader. For example, you're in charge of a certain organization. You want to inform your subordinates, you want to inform the people you work with. As a reader, you can write a memo that will be sent, relayed to the people who work in that particular organization. Sometimes the memo can just be put on the notes board and people can pass and read it. They can read on the notes board. So this is the format of the memo. This is the format of the memo. It starts with the word to who. is the memo going to be sent? For example, this one here is the memo which is sent to an individual, to a person. This is to James Rehumbiza. And from who? The memo is from the headmaster. The date, you have to show the date. The date, it was 23rd May 2019. This is very crucial. It's crucial in the sense that the receiver of the memo should know whether the memo is late, okay? Because if you write down a memo without including the date showing when it was written, someone might think that maybe the time has passed, and therefore maybe what is written in the memo has expired, or you no longer want to go and meet that particular person. So the date will indicate that it is very day the memo was written. The subject, what is the memo about? The memo is about the meeting. The meeting. Now this is the introduction part of your memo. You need to have the memo at the top, write down memo, and then you have to frame it in the way it is shown here on the screen. Frame it the way it is seen. And then we have the body of the memo now. This is the body of the memo. The body of the memo. The other one, we can call it like the head of the memo. And then we have the body of the memo. This is the one which carries the message now. The intended message by the writer is found in the main body. So kindly inform other teachers about a short meeting which will be held in the staff room after break. Class teachers should come with attendance registers. I hope all teachers will attend. And then Bumela, you see? So this memo will be relayed to James Rehumbiza. Now, who is James Rehumbiza? Maybe James Rehumbiza is the academic master or the second master. Someone with the high rank at school. The second master, because the memo is from, we have seen that the memo is from the headmaster, sending to James Rehumbiza. So he can be any, whether second master or the academic master. So it's the one who is responsible to lay this memo to other teachers to attend the meeting, which is summoned by the head of school. So at the end, there is the one who wrote the memo, who is Bumela. I think, my dear students, you have grasped the lab picture of how you can write down the memo. It's one of the simplest documents that you can write down. Very simple. And actually, we need to have the skill on how to write memos, because at one given time, we can be leaders in organizations, you know? We can be leaders, officers. So we need to know how to write down the memos. The other important thing that we want to learn today is about how to write the notes. Notes writing. What is a notes? We have to start with definition. What's a notes? A notes is a sheet of paper giving written or printed news or information, usually to be displayed publicly, that is, on public. Notes can be of varied subjects. They can be about advertisements or adverts. They can be about meetings. They can be about announcements or call for tender, etc., etc. So these ones are written for the purpose of being exposed, of being put to be read by the public. Unlike the memo, which is written to be passed within the organization from one office to another office, but it's not really intended to be seen on public. You cannot take the memo and put it on the wall, outside, maybe on the school wall, outside, for people to read. It's of no use. But the notes can be put on the wall. It can be put on the tree or anywhere where people can pass and read. So this is a sheet of paper giving written or printed news or information, usually displayed publicly. And the information which can be displayed can be, as how I've said, it can be an advertisement, advertising a certain business, or a call for the meeting, or an announcement, or a call for tender, etc., etc. Here below is an example of a notes. This is an example of the notes. I think you can see it, my dear students. I think you can see it on the screen. The notes normally should be written in a certain style. There is a style of writing the notes in such a way those who pass and read the notes have to be attracted to come close and read. And therefore, you need to use the title that will attract everyone to come close and read what is written there. So your title should be attractive. As you can see here, we have the title, Don't Crash Your Phone. Don't crash your phone. So sometimes you can find you have a phone which is not functioning well. It's out of order. And if you see that announcement or that notes, you'll be interested to know, why shouldn't I crash my phone? Even if you had the intention of crashing your phone, then you can now go close, read what is written on the notes. Maybe there is a solution for that problem of your phone. If you read through the notes, then you can get a solution. And actually, as you can see on the notes, I think you can get the solution of the problem. If you have a phone which is out of order, then it's obvious that you'll be interested to go close to the notes, read, and get to the content of the notes. It says, visit Machokumchuzi workshop. Visit Machokumchuzi workshop. Your phone will be new and all the problems will be handled down. When? The date should be stated. When should you visit Machokumchuzi? Machokumchuzi. From 15th January 2019, you can visit Machokumchuzi. Where? It means the place. Kihonda Magorofani. From which time to which time? The time is indicated there. From 12 o'clock p.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. And then you are welcome. You can see? Very simple, very straightforward. Now, what are the most important components of the notes? The most important components of the notes are the title. The title should be very attractive to attract the attention of the passers-by, those who are passing, those who can come close to that advert, to that notes on the street, on the wall, on the tree, anywhere where you can put it, because this is meant for public. Another important thing, you have to state your trademark. This is Machokumchuzi workshop, okay? And then you have to state a little bit, what do you do with the phones? As you can see, your phone will be new and all the problems will be handled down. It means Machokumchuzi can change the broken down phone, any phone which is to the state of being slow. Machokumchuzi has that ability of making it to be new. And then it will be very attractive, you see? So the language used here is attractive. I think in stylistics, for the advanced level, they know what it means by this kind of notices. That is, it is a style of writing that can attract the reader to go close and read the content of the notes. The other thing that should be included in the notes is the date. Very important. You need to include the date. When should people start consulting you? When? Because you have to be specific. The date is indicated. But also you have to state the place where you will be available. You have to state a place where you can be available. The place stated here is Kuhonda Magorofani. And therefore, someone will just know straight that if I want to go and consult Mr. Machokumchuzi, if I want to go to Machokumchuzi workshop, I need to go to Magorofani. And I know the date already, that Machokumchuzi workshop will be open on 15th January 2019. So I'm already alerted about it. But the other important thing is time. You know, we normally work with time framework. At which time is Machokumchuzi available? At which time is Machokumchuzi workshop open? It is open around this time, 12 o'clock up to 4 o'clock p.m. And then, as a polite way of addressing people, you thank them in advance. That is, you are welcome. Thank you very much, you're welcome. But even this, you are welcome, it invites people that let them come now. After reading the notes, then they can plan to come. They can plan to visit the workshop. For all those whose phones are out of order, they can go to Kihonda Magorofa. The date is stated, the place is stated. Is there any question someone can ask here? No question, because the notes explains almost everything. It explains where, it explains when, it explains who, it explains how. You see, almost all these questions are answered. So those are the important components which makes the notes to have the qualities of being called the notes. So you have to include all these components. The notices can also be written on newspapers. It's very common when you take the English newspaper, not only the English newspaper, but also the Kiswahili newspapers. There is a page for adverts, advertisements, you see? Advertisements for announcements, announcements for tender, announcements for vacancies, you see? Vacancies, you can read the English newspapers, and sometimes you can secure job from you can know the vacancies through reading the newspapers. There is a special page for that. So the notes on the newspaper can be seen in this style or in this form. Vacants, it will be written at the top. Vacants, personal secretary. Vacants at the top, and then the position that is announced. The position or the vacancy is for the personal secretary. Then you have to write down a little bit. You have to explain. A reputable financial service firm based in Dar es Salaam is urgently looking for an experienced personal secretary for immediate employment. She must be fluent in English, computer literate, and ready to work under severe pressure. Please apply in confidence with your CV. You remember, my dear students, in the last lesson, we discussed about the CV. The CV is one of the crucial documents in most of the applications. So you have to write, please apply in confidence with CV to the Chief Executive Officer, P.O. Box 3545678, Dar es Salaam. Applications must reach the above address not later than 2 weeks after the appearance of advert. My dear students, I hope you can see how the notes, the newspaper can be written. It's also very straightforward. You need to have the title. It will depend with what kind of notes are you writing to the public. And actually, if you write maybe, for example, it's not about vacancies. For example, you're announcing a tender. You can write the title. You see? Announcement for tender. You see? Like that. Announcement for tender. And then you can explain a little bit that what are the criteria that you have to consider for a person to be given a tender of a certain thing. You see? So those are the most important things that you have to include. But also you have to include your contacts, so that those who will be interested to apply, those who will be interested to write to you, they need to have the address, the postal address which they can use. But also it's also important to state the deadline, that maybe the deadline should be on so and so and so. You can state it. Like here, applications must reach the above address not later than 2 weeks after the appearance of the advert. So after seeing the advert, you have to count 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, it means if you write down your application, it cannot be considered because you have gone beyond or you have gone out of the time located or time framework. So that is one form of the notes which can be found in the newspapers. Therefore, we have the notes which can be put on the walls, to be read by the public, but also the notes which are written on the newspapers, they can be read by the public as well. Because when people buy the newspapers, they can read and find that page which is written adverts or advertisements. You see? Adverts or advertisements. So, my dear students, thank you very much for your attention. And this is an exercise that you can do during your private time, which is very important for you to do it, because it will test you whether you have really understood what we have so far discussed concerning with letter writing, but also how to write a curriculum, vitae. It is about the curriculum vitae, and as I said before, when you talk about application, when you write a letter of application, you need to have the curriculum vitae. Now, the CV should be attached in your letter. The question here, question number 1, says, apply for the job advertised above, including your curriculum vitae. What is that advert? The advert I'm asking you to write upon is this one here. This is the notes on the newspaper. Suppose you read this newspaper and you found this vacance. Suppose you read this newspaper and you found this vacance. How can you apply for this vacance? It is a personal secretary vacance. How can you apply for this position or for this vacance? So try to do this question. Apply for the job advertised above, but after writing down your letter of application, that is application letter, which you learned it in the previous lessons. We learned about letter writing, the business letter and the friend letter. This is a business letter, which is the official letter. Therefore, you can write it. Apply for the job, application letter. Apply for the job advertised above, including your curriculum vitae. So make practice how to write down a curriculum vitae of your own, a CV of your own. And then you can use the details given the advert in the notes that I have shown you. So my dear students and other viewers, the second question is that one. You can see it on the screen. One of the directors has asked you to write him a note to the public informing them of 2 vacancies for internal auditors, a variable and perfect vision campaign. Write the notes to appear in the newspaper. So the way you write it is just the same like the way I have shown you, the notes is to the newspaper. You have to include all important components of the notes to the newspaper. And you are being asked by the director to write him a note to the public informing them of 2 vacancies. So it is the notes about a vacancy variable. And what is that vacancy for? It is for the internal auditor. And what is the company? The company is Perfect Vision Company. And you have to write the notes to appear in any newspaper of your choice. It can be daily newspaper, Tanzania newspaper, or any other type of newspaper. My dear students, I hope this marks the end of our lesson for today. I hope that you have really enjoyed the lesson. You can now stand in a position to write down a CV. You can write down your CV, but also you can write down a memo. You can write down the notices. The notices to be displayed on public, the notice to be displayed on the newspapers, and so on and so forth. With this marks the end of our lesson for today. Thank you very much for watching. You are with me, Sir Mnewa William Kihimbo. Bye.
NLab Innovation Academy inatangaza nafasi za masomo ya Information Technology kwa ngazi ya certificate na diploma kwa wanafunzi waliomaliza kidato cha 4, kidato cha 6 na chuo NTA Level 3. Chuo kipo Kinondoni Vijana jijini Dar es Salaam. Zaidi ya kusoma, mwanafunzi anapewa nafasi ya kuanzisha mradi wa kiteknolojia pamoja na kupatiwa mentor wa kumuongoza. Pia tunamsaidia mwanafunzi kutafuta scholarships pale anapohitimu. Tupigie leo 0677 071 074486 au 0744100231 au tembelea tovuti yetu www.nia.ac.tz.